Good afternoon. Let me just make sure that I'm live here. And it looks like I am good to go. So, good afternoon. Carol Buckalew with Inky Stampers. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And I have a fun fold here for you today. This is a center pop-out card using the Brewed for You stamp set and dies. And it's a fun set. It's really cute. It's no longer a bundle, but you will find both the stamp set and the dies in the annual catalog. And I did this fun fold about a month ago, but I did a very flowery, kind of feminine card. Hey, Mary, thanks so much for joining. Thank you. I think I borrowed this fun fold from you, so thank you. And then on the back, you know, you've got a place to write an additional sentiment. And I've included some panels and some designer series paper on the back as well. Hey, Rosie, thank you so much for joining. So lots of DSP on this card. And this will definitely, this fits in an A2 size envelope, but this definitely will require extra postage just because of all the weight on the card and, you know, kind of the thickness. But great use of the designer series paper. And the designer series paper that I used, and of course I can't remember the name right off the bat, the Earth and Elegance designer series paper, which makes for great masculine cards, the prints in this paper. Not all of them, but a lot of them make for really great masculine cards. So Father's Day is coming up, so if you need a Father's Day card, this would be a great option. So let's go ahead and get started. I also used an additional stamp set, and this one is All That Dies, which you can find in the annual catalog. And really the only component I used was this rectangle here, and that's kind of in the background on the front of my card. And then these are the Brewed for You dies. And of course the stamp set, and I showed you the paper already. So let's go ahead and get started. So my card base, this is a super easy fun fold. The card base is 11 inches by 4 1/4 inches, and it is scored at 2 1/4, 3 5/8, 7 3/8, and 8 3/4. And the very first score line on this card is a, am I going to get it messed up here? I am. Is a valley fold. I turned it the wrong way. And let me just make sure my cardstock is lined up here. I'm just going to use my bone folder to score that line. So first one is, did I get myself messed up again? I got myself turned around. There we go. There we go. Okay, so the first fold is a valley. The second one is a mountain fold. The next one is a mountain fold. And then the last one is a valley fold. Let me get those burnished with my bone folder. And so that is how the card comes together. So you can see valley, mountain, mountain, valley. When I refer to mountain or valley, that's what I'm talking about. I'm going to set this aside for just a minute. Got a little bit of stamping to do, like always, right? Envelope, and I did pre-assemble some of my panels just because I'm sure you don't want to see me glue everything up here all at once. But I am trying to grab my pieces here for stamping. There we go. And for the components on the card front, I'm going to go ahead and just show you how I stamped those and colored them. But, you know, I did go ahead and pre-stamp and pre-die cut these pieces, again, just for time's sake. So this is the beer glass, and this is kind of the detailed image. I am stamping the beer glass 2 times in gray granite ink. It just seemed to be a nice neutral color. Rosie, you want to watch me get sticky? Well, you'll have a chance to see me get sticky for sure, because I'll be using glue. So no worries there. Yeah, that glue manages to find its way onto everything. So two beer glasses in gray granite ink, and then I have the beer suds that kind of sit on top of the beer glasses, and which is really fun. And I'm going to stamp that twice in gray granite ink. There we go. Okay. And then I'm going to use some Daffodil Delight ink for the fill on the glasses. So there is a separate stamp in the set for that, you know, to fill the glasses up. So we've got beer in our glasses here. And this is Daffodil Delight. And I'm just going to pull this to me slightly. So we can get it kind of straight on there. There we go. And that's it for the beer glasses. And then the next ink I'm going to grab is Pecan Pie. I forgot to mention that the card base is in Pebbled Path, which is one of our new ink colors, which is lots of fun. So in Pecan Pie, I'm going to stamp the growler, which is what this is called. And when my husband and I visit a brewery, on occasion, we don't go a lot, but there's a brewery that we like in Cape May, and he will occasionally buy a growler of beer, and they're always in amber glass. So that's why I stamped the growler in Pecan Pie. All right, let me go ahead, just make sure. This is my inside panel. And for my inside greeting, I'm going with the sentiment, "Oh, ale, yes," which I think is super cute. And I'm going to stamp that in Pecan Pie. And let me just, hopefully I will get it straight. And I just rocked that stamp, so hopefully I don't need to turn my cardstock over. That looks pretty good. We'll take it. And then my front sentiment is another round for your birthday. And this one, let me line this up on my grid paper. Always use your grid paper if you have it, because it's just a great way to make sure that you're stamping straight and that your greeting is centered, all of that good stuff. And that looks good. Okay. Just a little bit more stamping here and a little bit of coloring, and then we can put the card together. Super quick and easy, like I mentioned. Uh-oh, I might have just lost the stamp I needed. That's what happens when you put a stamp down on your desk. And I did for sure just lose my little bubble stamp. Oh no. Oh no. That's not good. Let me see here if I can find it. Oh, and it's so tiny. I will never see it. Hold on, let me see if I can find it on the floor. If I get lucky here. I do not see it. I have done lost my bubble stamp. Well, I'll have to do a more thorough search. Well, that really stinks. So I'm going to improvise here. And let me go back to the gray granite ink. And we will just go ahead and stamp a partial beer glass onto our little sentiment, our inside panel here, which really is our reverse panel, but that's okay. Let me get this on the envelope front as well. Oh, look, I just found my little bubble stamp. Doggone, it was sticking to my envelope. Well, at least I found it. So let me do this. Close up this thing. Since I already stamped the beer glass, partially here on my inside panel. Don't you hate when that happens? I'll tell you. It was my own fault. I set it down. Don't set your little tiny stamps down on your desk unless you expect them to get lost, because that's what happens. Let me see here if I can get this lined up. There we go. I like that. So let me go ahead and get the bubble stamp on here. And before I lose my little beer stud stamp, I'm going to go ahead and put it inside the case so I don't lose it. And let's see how tiny that little stamp is. Oh my gosh, it's so tiny. That's what I lost, but I'm glad I found it. I'm going to go ahead and just do some bubbles coming up off of our beer glass. I think that's kind of cute. And then on the envelope front, I'm going to go ahead and just do bubbles. Kind of going up the side here. And we'll call that good. Okay, that is it for the stamping. Got the inside panel done. And I'm going to go ahead and bring in a couple of Stampin' blends. And I am going to color in the growler with light pecan pie. Let me close my ink pad up here before I have a disaster. Another disaster. And I'm going to go ahead and just color in the growler with pecan pie. The light shade of pecan pie, I should say. So we finally got some rain the other night. Torrential rain. It just poured. And because we hadn't had rain in so long, of course, all the rain just washed down the hill instead of absorbing into the ground. And our brand new sump pump, which my husband had to install, I don't know, about a month ago, decided to stop working. The float on it wasn't working right. And fortunately, my husband was in the basement and went into the back, kind of the storage area, which is where the water first comes in if the French drain is going to malfunction, and saw the water coming in. And fortunately, he was able to get the sump pump working again. We have an extra little pump. I know, brand new. He just installed that sump pump because the old one gave out. But he's handy with plumbing, so that's good. He's a former plumber. But anyway, you know, he got that fixed. He put a new float on it. He put a new check valve on, all that good stuff. And so fortunately, our room did not get flooded. It was a near thing though, which would have been twice in 1 month, which is terrible. But so I'm just using the brush tip here of my Stampin' blend marker to color that in. I have a piece of Post-it tape here, and I want my growler to be half full of beer. And this is an amber bottle, so I'm just going to use my Post-it tape to just kind of give me a little line there. And I'm going back with the light pecan pie Stampin' blend. And this is sufficient to darken this ink enough that you'll be able to see the difference here. So just give me a second here to color this in with the second coat of the light Stampin' blend, and we will be good. And we get some color down here. But that should be good. Yeah, so we were really lucky, but I'll tell you. So you can see that it looks like our growler is half full, and I'm going to color the lid of the growler using the dark shade of Daffodil Delight, just to give it kind of a gold cap there. And, you know, this is totally not necessary, but I went ahead and just kind of colored down each side of the stamped yellow area on my glasses, just to kind of give it a little more, I don't know, depth maybe, shadow, whatever. And I didn't even blend this. I just kind of colored it in just to give it a little more depth. And that was that. So like I mentioned, I just wanted to show you how I stamped and colored these items. But having said that, I do have the pieces here already cut out. And hopefully I won't lose any of my pieces. That would be a very bad thing. So you're gonna get to see me color a little bit here, or rather glue up a little bit here. I went with copper clay for the mats, both on the front and back of the card. And they go really nicely with this Pebble Path, as well as the Misty Moonlight. Just really, really pretty. And I love this pattern. Kind of reminds me of a weave. Let me grab my glue here. And we'll get to gluing up and putting our card together. So, like I mentioned, this fun fold is super easy. There's really, you know, a couple of folds, nothing complicated. Just super simple and fun to show off designer series paper. And this is why I like glue. You can see when I sat that down, it shifted. But I like that couple of seconds that the glue gives me to reposition my paper and get it where it needs to be. And this is our front center panel, so I'm going to go ahead and get that put on. Kind of flatten my card out here. And I want to make sure when I'm putting the center panel down that it's not interfering with my score lines, and that's good. Alrighty, and let me go ahead and get our side pieces on. So, like I mentioned, I've already matted these up. I'm going to go with kind of this pecan pie print on either side of the front panels. So we'll go ahead and get those on. And I'm looking for an equal reveal around all of my edges here. Make sure that looks good, okay. And we can go ahead and get the other one on. So this afternoon it is raining again, which I'm grateful for, and it's a slow rain, so thank goodness. So at least we are finally getting some rain, but it was just horribly dry. Usually in August it's a dry month and it's a hot month for us. It hasn't been especially hot, but we've had dry temperatures, which are never good in June. That's not a good sign. So I'm glad that we're getting a little bit more rain today. It's not significant, but at least it's something. And then this is our panel that it will be on the back of the card. So someplace for you to write your little message. And again, I want to make sure that that's not going to interfere because this panel does go right up to those score lines. For my original card, I went with kind of the DSP that I had on the center front panel. But on this card, I decided to go with the Misty Moonlight, just for a different look. Get these panels on. Whoops. Slipping and sliding. The Pebble Path cardstock is kind of so dark, it's hard to see exactly where that cardstock is. Okay, so the back is done, and we can go ahead and start decorating the front. All of the measurements and score lines for this card will be on my blog tomorrow. This card design is for a theme challenge for the Happy Ink and Thursday blog hop. So you'll be able to find, you know, a tutorial for the card on my blog tomorrow, and all the measurements and links to the other blogs that are participating in the hop, and this group always does a great job. Yeah, lots of inspiration. I have a little sliver here of DSP in Misty Moonlight, and I am going to glue this onto the bottom of my sentiment label, just kind of as a drop shadow. And I only want about 1/4 of an inch of that to drop down. And we just straighten it up there and move it over just a smidgen. Okay, that looks fairly even to me, kind of, sort of even. Let me fix it. There we go. Okay, got it now. All right, I want to kind of get my sentiment on the center panel here first, just so that I make sure I leave room for the other components. And let me just, this is an end of my Stampin' dimensionals. I cut my dimensionals in half, and this is just happens to be the end piece. And they're being persnickety. They don't want to come off. There we go. And let's put one there. And we'll get this last one right there. And get the sentiment label. Yeah, the Happy Ink and Thursday blog hop is, everybody is so creative. I agree, Rosie. And you just get a lot of inspiration from seeing their posts and whatnot. So lots of fun. And then this week, Amy's Ink and Crew had their blog hop as well. All right, I'm just pulling the card front here towards me. This sentiment label is the exact width of this DSP panel. And I am going to leave just maybe about a little less than 3/4 of an inch, so about 3/8 of an inch. And my apologies if I'm getting my head in the way. And that is totally not straight. Let me see if I can fix it here. And I see I'm tearing my paper. A little better. A little better. All right. We can go ahead and... So this is the square that I cut out from the All That Dies. And this is going just right in the center at a diagonal, and I'm going to go ahead and glue that on. Just like that. And then the growler is going to get glued on as well. And he is going to sit right over here on the side, like that. And then the two little beer glasses, I'm going to glue the suds on top of the glasses, and then I'm going to glue the bottoms of the glasses together. So just so you know, Rosie, I'm getting sticky with glue. All right, and I just want the top of the rim of that glass to show slightly, but there's one. Yep, sticking to my die cuts. I'm trying to use just the smallest amount of glue I can use, just so I don't get messier than I need to. But I love the little suds that sit on top of the glasses, so cute. Now I'm going to just place a drop of glue here at the bottom corner of one of the beer glasses. I just want to kind of tack these together because they are going to get adhered to the card front with Stampin' Dimensionals. So I just kind of wanted them angled to each other. So just give that a press there. And let me grab some more dimensionals. And we are almost done here. Go ahead and get some dimensionals here on our beer glasses. But what a great guy's card. Well, I mean, I know lots of women who like beer too. I like the occasional beer. I'm not a big drinker, neither one of us are, but an occasional beer is nice. I like Blue Moon with a slice of orange. It's yummy on a hot day. See, I told you I got glue on me. My dimensional covers are sticking to me. Whoa, and I just dropped my beer glasses there. All right. So the beer glasses are going to sit just kind of, let me see here. About like that. Here we go. Okay. And to finish off the front of the card, I'm going to add a couple of brushed metallic adhesive back dots. Let me grab my tweezers here in the copper color, and I'm going to go for the large ones here, and I'm just going to put one on kind of center on the right and left edge of my sentiment label. I'll have to see how I did. I got them pretty straight. Okay, there we go. So that is the card. Well, let me just grab the envelope, whatever I did with the envelope. Wow, I'm just having one of those days. There it is. It's hiding on me. Good grief. You ever have one of those days? Yo, you're singing, Mary. Not that kind of Blue Moon, but yeah. If you haven't caught Mary's videos, Stamps and Lingers, she does videos on Thursday afternoons and Saturday evenings. Be sure to catch Mary. She does a great job. She makes gorgeous cards. And sometimes she sings for us, so that's always a treat. She's trying to sing now, but no audio for it to come through. Okay, I'm just adhering a piece of Coordinating Designer Series paper to my envelope flap, and I'm going to go ahead and take my paper snips and give this a quick trim, and we will be done. Right now, Stampin' Up! Is having a Starter Kit Plus promotion. For $99, you can purchase a starter kit and pick $155 worth of products. So a great deal. And Stampin' Up! Right now also has a paper sale, a Designer Series paper sale going on. And I'm doing, see, I can't talk and cut at the same time. I'm doing a horrible job trimming my envelope flap here. But the designer series paper, select papers, there's quite a few of them. You can get the info on my blog at inkybstampers.com. But 15% off designer series papers right now, and which is a great deal. So if you join Stampin' Up, you get $155 worth of product for just $99 for the month of June. And you get free shipping on your starter kit. You get to be part of the Stampin' Up community, which I've got to tell you, I don't regret becoming a demonstrator a single day. And if you'd like to join and you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me at inkybstampers@gmail.com. I'd love to chat with you. I'd love to answer your questions. But yeah, if you become a demonstrator, then you can, like, you know, purchase stuff with your 20% discount. And so think about it. Or if you're on the fence, call me and we'll talk. But that is our card for today. And I hope you enjoyed it. I know I enjoyed making it. I love this fun fold. It's just super easy and shows off that pretty paper so well. But I want to thank you for joining me today. Have a wonderful rest of the day, the rest of the week, and I will see you all next Wednesday, 1 p.m. Eastern on Facebook. Have a great one. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.